Good grief, it's you.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at our favorite subtle Easter eggs and jokes hidden throughout the Wallace and Gromit franchise. Beware, there may be spoilers ahead.
Oh, thank you kindly. What do you think of that then, Gromit?
Number 10. Director Portraits. Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Heavens above. Hello? Hello? Is anybody there?
Reverend Clement Hedges is one of many hilarious side characters in Wallace and Gromit's feature-length debut. He's the first to encounter the Were-Rabbit and is hilariously revealed to read Pro-Nun Wrestling magazine.
Everything you need to know is in this book.
Nun wrestling.
No, I meant this one.
Perhaps his most important contribution to the plot is providing Quartermain with 24-karat gold bullets. At the end of one particular scene, we get an ominous zoom-out shot of the vicar in his home. Here, we get a brief glimpse of directors Nick Park and Steve Box. The pair are dressed as priests, with their portraits subtly hung up on the walls. They're only shown for a few frames, so only a keen eye will spot them.
A matter easily dealt with by a hunter.
Guns will not be necessary, thank you, Victor.
Number 9. The Yorkshire Border. Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul.
I knew it was Feathers McGraw. Quick, close the gate!
We've known since the opening shot of The Wrong Trousers that Wallace and Gromit call Wigan their home. For those unfamiliar with English geography, it's a small town in the historic county of Lancashire. The northern county borders the magnificent Yorkshire, which is also a historic county of England. The two counties have had a rivalry for centuries, originating in the 1400s.
You know that people from Yorkshire hated everyone outside of Yorkshire. It sounded quite charming. Is that a thing?
In the 2024 film, while Feathers McGrath is making his escape, we see a sign for the Yorkshire border, with bold letters saying, "Keep out." On the other side, the Lancastrians have hilariously written, "No, you keep out."
Oh, cracking move, lad.
Number 8. Peter Salis's hat. Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. People from outside the UK will know Peter Salis primarily as the voice of Wallace. Long before he was Wallace, he was Norman Cleggy Clegg in Last of the Summer Wine.
I don't mind people wincing at me driving, but hiding out of sight strikes me as tactless.
This was a relatively popular sitcom set in Yorkshire. This also explains why Wallace has a Yorkshire accent, because Salis had practiced it extensively, making it easier than a Lancashire one.
Look, if I must change my ways, at least let me do it my way. With technology.
Cleggy was always spotted wearing his iconic tweed flat cap. Salis passed away in 2017 and was unable to play Wallace in the 2024 installment. Aardman subtly paid tribute to Salis by having Cleggy's flat cap hung up on Wallace's coat rack.
All right, hold your horses.
Police! Oops, sorry!
Oh, give me strength.
Number 7. Bob's Buns. A close shave and Wallace and Gromit, a matter of loaf and death. In 2008, the duo dipped their toes into baking, becoming Wigan's most famous bakers. The opening scene shows us a frightening murder, with Baker Bob the victim.
What? Oh, it's you. Eh? No!
He's the 12th victim claimed by the villainous Paella before she meets Wallace. Fascinatingly, this wasn't his first mention in the series.
I'm inbred myself.
Oh, really?
In A Close Shave, a billboard of Baker Bob is hiding the entrance to Preston's secret lair. The character is a reference to Bob Baker, co-writer of numerous Wallace and Gromit films. Baker also worked on the original series of Doctor Who and goes way back in the British TV and film industry.
And how long have you been writing for?
Since 1968.
Wow.
I hardly stopped a day.
Number 6. Rosebud, A Grand Day Out.
These bank holidays, it's a problem to decide. Tell you what, Gromit lad. Let's have a nice hot cup of tea.
Citizen Kane is one of the most widely loved older movies. Originally released in 1941, countless people will argue it's the best film ever. It's quite surprising to find out that this old and rather mature film is referenced not once, but twice in Wallace and Gromit.
I knew it all the time. You caught on, didn't you? I guess maybe I'm not as hard to see through as I think.
First, in A Grand Day Out, we can see a red sled called Rosebud in Wallace's basement. This is what Citizen Kane named his own sled, and these were also his final words.
Rosebud.
The second reference happens in A Matter of Loaf and Death, where we see a poster for Citizen Canine in Gromit's room. Number 5. Moon Cheese shares sore. The wrong trousers.
Now, where were we? Places you find cheese. Lancashire, Cheddar, Wensleydale, Philadelphia, Tesco's. Everybody knows the moon's made of cheese.
Building a rocket in a night and flying to the moon simply because you run out of cheese is an extreme flex. It makes Elon Musk's space ventures look like child's play.
Or just angle of thrust. Steady now. Straighten up.
Wallace and Gromit's hilarious adventure in A Grand Day Out is referenced loads throughout the following films. The most hilarious example is in a newspaper in The Wrong Trousers. Gromit is casually reading his morning paper with a headline saying, "Moon cheese shares sore." Subtle jokes like this are littered in newspapers throughout the franchise. It makes you wonder, why did the pair embark on so many business ventures when their first was such a goldmine?
I don't know, lad. It's like no cheese I've ever tasted.
Number 4. Creature Comforts cameos. A Close Shave and Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. If you grew up in the UK, you might have watched Aardman Animations' Creature Comforts as a child. For those unaware, it's a stop-motion mockumentary that hilariously interviews animals.
Try and eat healthily. She eats brown bread and all the rest of it. Apples and bananas. You name it, she eats it.
The main staple diet for runners is...
A couple of these comical characters were subtly placed into Wallace and Gromit movies. Frank the Tortoise is hiding in the pair's garden in A Close Shave. His likeness is also used for an anti-pesto surveillance device in Were-Rabbit.
Good night. Sleep tight.
During the delightfully creative museum burglary in The Wrong Trousers, we can spot the Creature Comforts lion. He's kept in a small glass box, which is unfortunate because the character hates a lack of space.
Here you live in a very small place with all the technological advances possible. You have everything sorted out, double glazing, your heating and everything in Brazil, but you don't have space.
Number 3. Newspaper Chicken Story. A Grand Day Out.
A chicken? Behind all this?
This reference is so bizarre only hardcore fans will understand it, and most were probably told about it by someone else. While ascending toward the moon, Wallace reads a newspaper with the headline, "Chicken Saved by Bantam." There's a lot to unpack in this tabloid eye-catcher. When director Nick Park was a child, his family had pet chickens.
He would come into the coop and open up one of the rooms and catch us all. Messing around.
Once, a hen fell into a pond and nearly drowned. Thankfully, her poultry pals struck into action, alerted the family, and the chicken was saved.
Oh, my life flashed before my eyes. It was really boring.
The headline is referencing this incident as the word bantam, with 2 A's, is used to describe a small variety of fowl. Using the word bantam can also be seen as a subtle Batman reference. The paper also has an article titled "Peter Goes to Lord's," which seems to be alluding to Peter Lord, Aardman Animations co-founder.
Nobody was making animated feature films virtually except Disney. In fact, we made 6 British animated feature films. Is astonishing.
Number 2. Prison Scene. A Close Shave.
Caught bang to rights, you were. You've really let us down this time, lad.
Gromit going to jail is one of the series' lowest moments, as it's rock bottom for our beloved canine. Seeing Wallace struggle while his house gets flooded with sheep is as sad as it is hilarious. We get a short scene of Gromit's cell, which is subtly hinted at being the ex-cell of Feathers McGrath, Earth's most dangerous penguin. Behind Gromit, you can spot Feathers' ear, scratched into the brick. Gromit's also reading a penguin classic, Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky, one of the more droll jokes in the series.
Come here. That's it, lad. My new Patomatic will oblige.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Feathers McGrath slipped into the background. A Close Shave, Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, and Wallace and Gromit: A Matter of Loaf and Death.
Good grief, it's you!
Feathers McGrath returns in Vengeance Most Foul, seeking to steal the blue diamond once again. Surprisingly, he's appeared in multiple Wallace and Gromit movies and a few other Aardman Animation pictures.
There's Feathers! Nice work, Gromit! And let's get after the bounder!
More speed, Mr. Wallace!
Hey?
In A Close Shave, we already mentioned the references to him in Gromit's cell, but Feathers is also physically perched upon a rock during the final chase. In Were-Rabbit, we see him hanging out on top of Toddington Hall. Finally, the zoo from A Matter of Loaf and Death has a missing poster for McGrath.
I should have tried the granary rolls.
Maybe this explains how he became an expert hacker in Vengeance Most Foul. He was plotting the robbery for decades and wasn't as confined as we'd like to think. But then why did he have to so carefully calculate an escape plan if escaping was actually so easy? This may forever remain a mystery. Were there any subtle Easter eggs we missed but you noticed? Drop them in the comments.
Oh, Gromit! Oh, lummy!
Huh? Whoa!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.